If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The camera's here and the microphones, and they wanna know, the return. If you are what you say you are, a superstar.
And that sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Fantastic.
Good tune.
Very, very good tune. Solid tune.
Great way to kick off episode 7 here, where we're talking about somebody left the stove on because it's getting hot. Hot stove.
Go ahead, Eric.
Here with Walker Cooper.
All right, just go on with the show.
First of all, shout out to Ian Ohlinger, our great RA. The best.
The best.
The best. We don't have you as an RA.
I'm an RA in the same building.
Yeah,
You're
but
not
you're not
our
our
RA, though.
RA.
I basically am your
Ian,
RA.
shout out to you. Great song, man.
No offense, Ian, but
No.
good to see you, buddy.
Wait, see?
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Go, moving on.
All right. Let's get right into it. The hot stove, as Coop so pleasantly said.
Hot.
Heating up. We'll start with some under-the-radar signings here, or deals, I should say. Brandon Morrow. Not too many people really talked about this after a great postseason with the Dodgers. Packing his bags, moving to Chicago, pitching for the Cubs. That's a big signing for them.
That's a huge signing for their bullpen.
Helps out Wade Davis a lot.
Yes.
Gets them.
I think they needed that.
Oh, for
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah,
it
they
gets
were-
them. It gets them to that ninth inning, and I
Yeah.
think that was a problem for them last year. Was getting to the ninth inning for Wade Davis.
They don't have to extend their staff as far as they used to now with him in the bullpen, so that'll be
They
able
still
to.
can. I mean, they got pretty decent staff that's able to do that and save some innings from the pen, but at the same time, that helps a lot. If your starter doesn't have his A stuff and he can get you 5 or 6, to be able to bring him in is
and he can go
huge.
multiple innings
Yeah,
too,
he
which
can.
is huge for them.
Which is-
I heard they're not close to being done yet.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yep.
I mean,
Theo Espine said he wants to sign a lot more people, make a lot.
Huh.
A lot more
he's a great
deals.
GM, obviously. Look what he's done with Boston and now Chicago. Let's move on to Luke Gregerson, heading to St. Louis. Interesting.
Good signing for them.
I don't know.
Bad for Houston.
Yeah.
Very, very bad. I would say it's worse for Houston than good
Yeah,
for St.
I'd
Louis.
say that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really. I mean, it doesn't. It helps St. Louis. It doesn't put them over the top and
No,
get
it
them back
doesn't
to
put.
that elite level. But at the same time, it's a good pickup, but really big
move.
loss for Houston.
And he came cheap, too, which was interesting. And then not a lot of people are talking about this. Former All-Star Ledmus Diaz going to the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
Good
I
trade
saw
for
that.
the Blue Jays. Very good. Especially, I watch this team, as I said, my favorite team in the league. I watched them a lot, and they had trouble in the middle infield last year, especially with Tulowitzki breaking his ankle. Devin Travis, being productive. I think he had the most doubles in the league at one point, and then he gets hurt out for the year. Very bad luck for him because this is like the third year in a row season-ending injuries, I should say. But Ledmus Diaz can play anywhere in the infield, and that's big. And I heard they're also going after Josh Harrison, another utility guy who can really hit the ball. So that's
I feel like
a
Jay
good
Hay
move.
would be a bigger signing for him.
That would be
absolutely
huge, honestly.
That'd
not
be
a
really
signing, a
amazing.
trade.
Well,
They're going to have to
trade, yeah.
give someone up, and I don't even think we're going to have to give up much to get him, to be honest. We're going to
Probably
give
not.
up some money
You need
because
to
the
get
Pirates need money.
You need to get in the arms race. You guys are a couple arms away yet.
I wouldn't say a couple. I'd say one with maybe a middle reliever, and I think we would contend. I'm not saying we'd win the division. I would say we would contend. But let's move on to the big signings and the big deals. Shohei Ohtani, the Japanese Babe Ruth, as many would call him. And let me specify, not here. He's not the Babe Ruth here. He's the Babe Ruth of Japan. Because
I guess.
as soon as I said that yesterday, Coop wanted to punch me. So thank you, Coop.
No offense.
But finally signs going to Los Angeles. The Angels
That's surprising.
and Mr. Trout.
Yeah, trying to avoid the big market by
guess
going
so.
to Los Angeles.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he'd go to Seattle, possibly Texas. Well, the 3 teams that could offer him the most money were Texas, Seattle, and L.A., where he went. The other teams could offer him like $300,000, so I figured he wasn't going to go there. So I was like, okay. And Seattle could offer the most, and it seemed like the best situation for him, but
I guess
he
not.
chose to go to the Angels.
If he's really as good as he said he was, or if he's as good as they say he
Yeah.
is, he would have been a difference maker in Seattle. And I believe that would have put them either running with the Astros, because the Astros have a lack of depth in the bullpen, or that would put them at least in the second wild card.
That's an
Yeah.
interesting take. You know, because we're taught Seattle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Seattle's a good team.
They're
they have
good.
depth. I mean, Ben Gamel stepped up, had a great year last
Extra
year.
arm, extra bat could really
I mean,
help
and
them.
they were almost in without their top 2 starters
Yeah.
for most of the year, in James Paxton and King Felix.
They played well.
Paxton's very underrated, and I think he's going to have a tremendous year this year.
Underrated. You know who is underrated? And just speaking of King Felix, for years, and this is kind of the reason that I've had problems with people making the argument Corey Kluber doesn't get enough run support, or any pitcher in general doesn't get enough run support. King Felix in Seattle has absolutely dominated hitters and won ball games that he should not win.
Yeah.
He's had to go out there and win so many starts 1-0.
Yeah.
Flat
He's
out.
a great pitcher.
And also the
He
Angels.
was in the top 5, but
how about the
he's
Angels?
too old now.
The Angels hired Brad Ausmus, ex.
Really?
Not as a manager, but someone in the front office, which is that's interesting, really,
That wouldn't be my first guy I'd look to for a front office job.
because
But
he has no
I-
experience
no.
whatsoever in the front office. I mean, he's played catcher and then he managed, and then that's it. I mean, hey, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And the Angels are rebuilding, getting some talent, and hey, give them a shot, I guess.
I don't know if the Angels are rebuilding.
They've been rebuilding for a long time.
I would say reloading.
I would classify as like polishing. I mean, when
That's
you
a-
have
that's a
Mike-
good term.
When you have Mike Trout and they got Brandon Phillips at the deadline last year,
Brandon Phillips isn't going to win you.
no.
I understand,
Don't
but
they have
they're-
he's a
Justin
good
Upton,
piece.
too?
but they have
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So they
what I'm
have
saying.
solid
They
pieces.
rebuilt last year, and they're continuing their
Yes.
rebuild. It's a rebuild. Let's not cut corners. It's
not a
you have
complete
Trout.
rebuild.
You have Trout, who's your focal point of
Yeah.
the team, your cornerstone guy, and you're building around him.
They need more arms, and this was a big help.
I mean, yeah, the only 2 really that I could name that consistently threw, decently last year was Garrett Richards.
Yeah.
Great arm. He's going to be very good. Tyler Skaggs was another guy, and then they had Jesse Chavez, coming,
Oh,
in and
oh,
out of
no.
the bullpen, kind of, in the
I don't count
rotation in
him.
the bullpen. But
He sucked.
he ate some innings.
He ate innings.
He
but
ate
he's
innings. That's
not-
what I'm saying. And they still,
Yeah.
made some noise. But let's move on to the biggest deal. Coop, go ahead, man. This is your team.
Giancarlo. Yeah, he's home in New York. They introduced him today. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've been talking to my dad, and I kind of talked to you guys about it. I'm not super psyched. I mean, if we were ever gonna make this move, this is kind of like the price I'd want to pay. I mean, it was ridiculously, I would say, cheap. I mean, Starlin Castro is a quality player, but this was kind of like,
$268 million's cheap.
we're not talking
not.
literal money, but like the
Like-
trade piece of it.
Yeah.
The
You didn't give up much.
We didn't give up any of our top 3
Which is
prospects.
very surprising. The Marlins could have got a lot more from him.
It felt-
But he was in control.
It felt
If
like
he
a
had that note-
desperation move
Yeah.
for the Marlins.
It
I mean,
really did.
not to crap on the quality players that the Marlins did get, but we're talking about Giancarlo Stanton. So, I mean, I don't know. I think we got him cheap. It's going to create kind of like a plug in the outfield. You got a lot of people competing for a lot of spots.
I doubt he's going to be an outfielder. I really think he's going to be a DH. Or maybe him and Judge will switch off and share innings.
What I'm thinking is that he'll part-time DH, but he's going to play left field, and Ellsbury will be gone because
Well, they did say that. Ellsbury's
okay.
they're looking to
Rosenthal,
trade him.
yeah.
So you
Rosenthal
leave
said
Gardner
he's
and
gone.
Hicks out,
or
or who plays center? In your mind, who plays center?
Aaron Hicks. He has a way higher ceiling than Brett Gardner.
And see, and that's the move. And I'm not saying you're wrong in that.
Yeah.
So just hear me out on this. But putting Hicks and formatting your lineup that way leaves you so one-sided. You are now a
Hicks is a switch hitter.
home run. Well, you're now a home run or die team because you don't have a spark plug in your lineup like a Brett Gardner that can get on, steal bases.
Brett Gardner hit like 260. He's not a good leadoff hitter, in my opinion.
He
was good in the playoffs. He had great at-bats, but in the regular season, he's not a leadoff
solid
hitter.
option. Well, who leads off?
Anyone but him. I don't believe in his...
Todd Frazier?
He's not
No.
even going
You
to come
have-
back.
Yes, he's going to
Yes,
get
he's
signed.
going
Now
to.
that this has happened, he has
He
to.
hasn't
You
come back
have
yet.
so many power bats in that. Torres,
Glaber?
possibly.
Do you really
They-
want to? No, that's not a
Torres,
bad
They
option.
might have
Torres
to-
could be an option.
Or Torres, yeah.
Torres could be an
Torres'
option.
But-
His bat is so inconsistent. I cannot.
Okay, well, so is
So-
Brett Gardner's. If we're really going to talk about that, the dude...
Listen, I think your
260.
best option right now is Brett Gardner as a leadoff hitter.
But that means you got to play him in center, and Aaron Hicks
And-
has got to sit the bench.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute. Everyone
so-
forgets that Aaron Hicks was hitting 300 until he got hurt. So that's also an interesting move,
One of
and he
these
has
guys-
some speed.
One of these power bats is going to end up hitting leadoff, and it's going to be like Carlos Santana for the Indians. Because he hit leadoff, and it actually worked out well. So, Judge sees a lot of pitches.
So does Aaron Judge. I mean, literally, they both do.
I
see
said
a lot
that.
of
I
pitches.
said Judge.
Oh.
So
Wake up,
Judge
Coop.
sees. So
Time out.
Rise and
He-
shine, Coop.
They're twins. Give me a break.
he might be a possibility at leadoff.
Yeah, I mean, he walked 127 times.
Exactly.
Isn't that crazy though? A 52 home run leadoff guy.
Yeah,
and
but
that's what I hate about this team now. Is I feel like we're so one dimensional that if we run into a buzzsaw pitching
That's
staff,
the game, though.
if we run into a
That's the
buzzsaw
game now.
pitching staff like
Yeah.
Kluber and that group, that now we are so dependent on hitting the home run that if we don't hit 2 to 3 home runs every game, we could lose.
Yeah, but
Does that
then
make
again,
sense?
if you get, I don't know, let's say Garrett Cole comes over to the Yankees,
I don't know if that'll
or
happen yet.
possibly they're not going to sign Arrieta now. I don't think.
No, they don't have the
But-
money.
I don't know. So Severino's out there. He's dealing. Tanaka's dealing. Sonny Gray has a good game. They're keeping you in it. You're a home run away from
With the 314 porch out and right,
Yeah.
or 310 porch out and right, and then a 318. Sorry,
Yeah.
318 in left field with guys that hit the ball 500.
So
feet.
you're never out
So-
of it with
No.
that lineup. But at the same time, there's almost too much power.
That's
Listen,
what I'm
Cash-
saying.
Like,
Okay, bottom line here, I think, is the Yankees aren't done. They're gonna.
No, they're gonna-
Something's gonna happen, and it's really gonna benefit you. This isn't the finished product of the 2018 Yankees
No.
for this offseason by far. Cashman even came out and said that there's work to be done.
I mean,
But
possibly
good start, man.
trade Frazier. Not
Clint Frazier?
Yeah, Clint Frazier.
I
mean, hey.
don't think they will.
I don't think they will, but
He's
at the
their
same
center
time,
fielder, I think. I mean,
I don't know if he's that fast because he's played corner outfield all the way up. And I saw him play in Toledo last year. Got to meet the guy. Fantastic man, by the way. Never big leagued anyone. He'll shake anybody's hand. Great guy. But
seems like it.
he seriously is. He's one of the few genuine guys. I mean, he's just a Georgia Southern boy that just loves to talk to anybody in his way.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Anyways, but Clint Frazier with the bat, just even in AAA, kind of watching him, his 2-3 at bats, he's strong, but he kind of reminds me of a Judge. He likes to hack. He searches for fastballs. He's not really kind of a center
he
field.
strikes out a lot.
Yeah, and he's not really a center field go run it down kind of
No.
guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he'll play center field for us. I
You
don't know.
have a lot of corner outfielders, and you have a pretty good infield. Kind of a hole at second right now.
You have a hole at second and a hole at third. That's why Todd Frazier needs to come back.
Yeah,
Well,
Todd
as of
Frazier's
now,
a very
but
good option.
I think he's going to come back, so that covers third.
No, I would agree, and especially for the clubhouse. But second
Yeah.
base is kind of a glaring hole.
Yeah, they need to make a move.
And I think Jacoby Ellsbury and or Clint Frazier will be a part of that deal. I
don't
mean,
know.
that's going to be interesting to see who wants to eat Ellsbury's contract.
That's the problem. It's a terrible contract.
For a horribly underperforming quote
Yeah.
unquote superstar.
So, he was a
Yeah.
superstar for like 2 seasons, maybe.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to another, kind of under the radar, but not really. It was talked about for maybe, a day and a half, 2 days. Really, D. Gordon is now a Seattle Mariner. Since Robbie Cano's at second base, where do you think Gordon will play? And there has been a lot of speculation that he's either going to move to shortstop, he's going to move to corner outfield, he's going to move to center field, most likely center field. But where would you put him?
Myself, I believe he's a leadoff kind of guy. Watching him play in Cincy last year against the Reds, he's a bunt, get on kind of guy. He's a spark in the front part of your lineup, like the Yankees need, much like I believe the Yankees need at the top of their lineup. I think he's got to go to center. I think short doesn't make sense. They still have Segura over at short. Third base, they still have the Seager kid. So, I think their infield's pretty solidified.
Corey's brother.
Yeah.
But that's probably, I think, where he's going to end up, considering that, Dyson's gone, which I don't know why they would get rid of the guy because he was a pretty good leadoff hitter, can really run it down in center field. But
it's a risky move, but it could pay off.
Yeah, we'll see.
Gives you some leadership in the clubhouse. I don't think they're done yet either.
No, they're not. And
they can't be.
Kind of a side note about D. Gordon, his brother, I don't know why his first name is escaping me right now. I saw him play down with the Twins when I was down at spring training. Wow, is he good. He's going to be better than D. Gordon. I don't even think it's going to be close. That kid can play. He's a shortstop in the Twins organization. I don't know why his name is escaping me right now. But back on track to D. Gordon. Yeah, he'll end up in center field, and his arm really hasn't been tested much. You can't put a grade on his arm just from second base yet. And, there's a lot of offseason. He could prepare it for center field. He's going to get a lot of reps. It could potentially pay off because the dude has a lot of speed when we've seen that time and time again.
I think he's a lot like a Pilar or a Billy Hamilton where he protects the gaps, but there's not a huge – Pilar's not ripping it 100+.
Well, no one really is. You have your top 3 arms in the outfield. I don't think there's a lot that do that.
Your Aaron Hickses, your Byron Buxtons.
Byron Buxton doesn't.
Trout. Yeah, Trout has ripped a couple over 100. Sabermetrics has really kind of put this kind of on the map for us. But to be honest, D. Gordon is just kind of a guy like Billy Hamilton and Pilar that's just going to go out and run it down. They're just going to go chase it down.
I want to see how aggressive he is on the outfield. That'll be something I'm going to tune into, per se.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Because if he's aggressive, he could very well be the next Byron Buxton, minus a little bit of an arm.
Yeah.
But
you can go
dude has some range.
But, yeah, we'll see. He's
and,
fast, so.
Just to add off what you said, Coop, he can hit too. I know you know that, but very good contact hitter for those of you who aren't familiar with D. Gordon.
A ball on the ground might be a single.
I saw a ball. He hit the first base and he beat it out.
Yeah, this man does not play games. He hits it on the ground. It's a serious threat. It's a threat.
Yeah, just looking over, we'll go position by position with them. They have Mike Zunino, had a great year last year. DHing Nelson Cruz, unbelievable year as always. Another addition for the Mariners, Ryan Healy from the A's, big power bat. Good signing for them. He's a good young player that shows a lot of promise in a not-so-good Oakland A's organization.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Good
to
for
the
him,
pit of
man.
misery.
Good.
Dilly. Robinson Cano at second as always, but they also have Taylor Motter, who gave him a lot of quality innings, off the bench, filling in, utility guy. He's from Tampa. Also, of course, you have Gene Segura and then Taylor Motter, of course, filling in at any infield spot, really. And then Kyle Seager, unbelievable third baseman, very underrated, very overlooked. Mitch Haniger out in right field, decent player, shows a lot of promise. And they have D. Gordon first on the depth chart at center field, which is interesting already. Yeah. And then Ben Gamble, of course, in left field. But, yeah, it's really, really, I would say concerning at this point because he's never played a day in the outfield yet,
If you're putting all your money on him
exactly
to play center,
they know something we don't.
Yeah, that's
they
probably
flat out
right.
know something we don't. But to put to your point, and I just kind of want to add this in there, what's the odds of the Mariners going out and getting a bat like J.D. Martinez?
Slim to none.
So, yeah, I don't think
you think
they have
they're
a
out of
chance.
money?
No, I just don't think J.D. Martinez would want to go to Seattle. In my opinion, I think he wants to go win now, and I don't think the Mariners have proven that they can win now.
I think if they add one more bat, you could talk about
very
them being,
well. Yeah,
you could talk about them being a wild card.
I think they're an
because
arm away.
the Angels are a pretender. They haven't They haven't proven yet. I think the Astros are weak in the back end of the bullpen, so that makes them vulnerable. And I think really the AL East just beats up on each other so much that always opens the door for some other team to sneak in. And I think that very well could be the Mariners next year.
I still don't think JD goes to Seattle.
I don't think there's a chance.
There's a slim chance, but they haven't even talked about it yet. So we'll see. That's an interesting side note. Let's move on to two of the more talented young stars throwing arms that the league has to offer. Chris Archer and Alex Colomé have drawn interest from the Chicago Cubs. Should they pull the trigger on either of them? Who and why?
One of them, in my opinion.
Well, now
Chris
that they have
Archer.
Morrow, this is kind of a
This is kind of an afterthought now.
yeah. But Chris Archer would be huge for this.
But there's got to be a
rotation.
pack. If you're the Rays, you've got to be tired of being the farm system for the entire major leagues.
That's true.
Well, they haven't been since Joe Madden left, so.
They
I
kind
don't
of
know,
been a
man.
farm system now.
They've kind of
People have-
sold a lot of their guys,
they
except
kinda-
for Longo.
Well, that's what I mean. They haven't been
Oh yeah,
good
you're right.
or trying to build since he left.
And you know what's interesting about what you just said? They were in contention for a playoff spot the entire season until September, and they had one of the worst back halves of the season in MLB history.
Yeah.
They're a good team.
decent.
Scrappy is
You
that's a
never-
good word for them.
Scrappy.
They're
You
very
never
scrappy.
think you're gonna blow them out, but at the same time, it's like, all right, the Rays, we should beat them.
Kiermaier is a good center fielder.
Yep.
Longo's always consistent. I've never hated on Evan Longoria a day in my life.
Logan Morrison's
Yes,
decent.
Dickerson had a great year.
They have some great pieces, but honest to God, you're right. They're just scrappy. They only hang in because they believe they can hang in. On paper, that team should not win any games they play in the AL East. They're flat out just not as talented as the Red Sox. Flat out are just not as talented as the New York Yankees. Not as talented as the Blue Jays. And they're really not as talented as the Orioles either. The Orioles just don't show up against them.
Yeah, but they have been progressing. I will say they were a fun team to watch. I really like when the Jays matched up against them. It was a good matchup
With the
for
Rays?
us. Yeah, it was fun to watch all the time.
I mean, their
They hit
atmosphere
bombs.
is so pitiful.
I know, but no, at Toronto, obviously. But
Oh,
they
yeah.
hit bombs, man. I mean, you got Dickerson leading off. Good leadoff hitter, actually. He's another guy who has a lot of power, a lot of pop in his bat, takes a lot of pitches, but can be aggressive at times and really, keeps the pitcher on his toes and really cautious.
I'd be really surprised if they competed like they did.
Well, they're
this next
they're
year.
selling Alex Cobb, and that's a huge piece in their rotation.
Do we know where he's going yet?
No.
Any guesses?
A lot of the Blue Jays have their hands in just about every corner of the free agent market right now because they're in need for just about everything. I heard them, and pretty much there's a lot of teams that are interested.
The
in that.
Astros better stop celebrating the World Series, and they better start getting.
We're
on
gonna
the
get on
market.
to that. That was that's one topic that we have. You know what? We'll dive into that since you segued us so
I
nicely.
didn't even know that.
The Astros are looking for yet another starter after their ace, Dallas Keuchel, signs with super agent Scott Boras.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they have said to be
Goodbye.
interested in Yu Darvish or
We'll see
even
it. No, not Darvish.
Jake Arrieta.
You can do
Who
it.
should the Astros try to get? And
Arrieta.
don't think of just these two guys. There's a lot of options out there, man.
There's a few underrated pieces they can get. So, Samardzija, possibly.
I think
That's
Samardzija's
a
a great thought.
He eats innings and he's a quality arm.
he's so underrated. Well,
Very
has been.
underrated.
So,
I think he goes back to San Fran.
Maybe,
He's an NL guy. I feel like he's a
yeah,
San Fran guy.
but he pitched so well with the Oakland A's. Like really, he could
Yeah,
potentially fit well in that Astros rotation. But
because they have Verlander,
Yep.
McCullers is good.
and also, another
So-
guy who I was really thinking about, and we were talking about this, Eric, Garrett Cole
Oh yeah,
could potentially be a great fit for him because the pressure's off of him. There, I mean, the pressure is just mounted on him throughout the years in Pittsburgh for being their quote unquote ace. And they have pitching prospects down in Pittsburgh, and I think it'd be a good time to deal him. And he's only getting older.
he's not performing well in Pittsburgh
I don't
anymore.
even think
so.
it's. I don't even think it's. You have to deal him because he's not a free agent this year, correct?
No,
Garrett Cole.
yeah, no, you have to deal
So
him.
you have to deal him, and I think
Yeah.
that'd be good for the Pirates.
Be great.
They can get some
I'm
fresh
gonna be
pieces.
honest. We got to get the Pirates out of the pit of misery.
Yeah,
they're-
they
Dilly dilly,
Dilly
everyone say
dilly.
it, come on.
dilly.
Dilly
They had a
dilly.
few good years, but they just kind of fell off since.
After they dealt Russell Martin, it was kind of over.
AJ Burnett left.
He retired.
AJ Burnett needed
Well,
to
yeah.
retire.
He needed to, but that was a big part of their team.
Yeah.
There was so much chew that they had to sweep off the carpet because he left. Oh, man, honestly, can we talk about this while you're getting ready to segue into the next thing? AJ Burnett chewed so much that he could have built a tin can fortress.
So there's a lot of Juan Uribe.
Yeah,
He
just took
Jose
the can and
Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez.
I figured out D. Gordon's brother's name. I don't know. Nick Gordon. Phenomenal player. You're going to see him in the big series.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I had to interrupt,
Nick's
but it finally hit me. I thought it was something else, but no. Nick Gordon, watch out for him. We're going to look back on this in a couple years, and you guys are both going to look at me and be like, wow, this kid's smart.
By that time, I don't even know if we'll be doing this show anymore.
Wow, that was
Coop will be
really negative. He'll
in
be
the business world.
We're all going to be making.
I'll still be here.
We're going to be cashing checks.
We'll
breaking
be
necks.
juniors or seniors.
Yep. So
Yeah.
anyway,
What's our
which team
next
we were
topic?
talking about?
Oh
Oh,
my
the
gosh.
Astros.
Yeah.
So yeah, get Garrett Cole and possibly Samardzija.
Samardzija's Samardzija's
Arrieta,
very
possibly.
comparable to Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
Very comparable. Kind of, sporadic at times, but can eat innings. I would say Samardzija's a lot better than him at eating innings, but similar stuff.
Garrett Cole, if he had any sense of a bullpen, blew so many games
Yeah, that's true.
in the 7th and 8th inning.
Yep.
If you could get him before he's gassed, he's much like a Trevor Bauer that when he's had enough, he needs to come out. Trevor Bauer,
yeah.
after 100 pitches, needs to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Garrett Cole's much like that, to where if you don't tax Garrett Cole, he's going to make somebody a quality starter. But what's the price from Pittsburgh? What does Pittsburgh need to see? And I think there's only a couple teams that really could provide Pittsburgh what they need.
Well, if they get rid of J-Hay,
That could be
utility piece. I don't know. They need a lot.
You can't even say the word retool with them because they're not even close.
No,
Yeah,
they're
they're
going
locked
to probably
They're
trade
going to
McCutcheon.
rebuild. They're going to at some point this season. I say if they're
He's
not,
gonna be gone.
if they're out of it at the deadline, he's gone. I don't think he gets dealt this offseason. I really
With
don't.
that division, the Brewers aren't bad.
The Brewers
the
are good.
Cubs.
The
They're
Brewers
just
are really
defense. Their defense
surprisingly
is bad.
They're really
They're good.
very good.
Their defense is bad.
The
though.
Cubs are going
That's
to be
the
on
thing.
top again. The Cardinals are better than the Pirates.
Yeah.
So they're sitting dead last. Season didn't even start. So.
I mean, I say another guy you might have to deal is Gregory Polanco.
That's
He's been very underwhelming to say the least with the
he's
Pirates.
been decent, but
with how much build up that kid had,
oh yeah,
underwhelming. I mean, Marte
don't
is
get
another
rid
piece.
of Josh Bell.
No,
You have
he's
to
the
keep
future.
him.
He's
Yeah.
the future. Marte is another piece that could be looked into as a possible trade target. Really, really good outfielder. I mean, after the PED use,
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
he's still, I think, one of the top. He might be the best left fielder in baseball.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's
He's
tough.
No, he's very
He's
good.
good.
That's
He's
tough.
very
He's
good.
he's an absolute stud. I mean,
a good player.
numbers
Very good,
numbers
but-
do back up my argument here. But I mean, you put him up next to Justin Upton, two very different outfielders, but very good nonetheless. But let's move on to Mr. John Heyman, and he reports that
God
the
bless
Red
him.
Sox. Yeah, he responded to me on Twitter. He tweeted that
He's a bum.
he tweeted that if the Mets didn't have to play, I think it was like the Diamondbacks or another team, that they would have a better record. And I commented, "Thanks, John," and he replied, "You're welcome."
John's expert analysis. I don't know if you remember this or not, but the hot stove was so cold. It was so cold at one point that on MLB Network they talked about Buffalo Wild Wings being acquired by Arby's. John Heyman's quote, and I'm quoting
great.
Oh,
direct.
God.
Never really been a chicken guy, but I'm a big fan of Arby's. Gonna have to give this BW3 things a try.
It's going to be the same
Let's
product,
move
but
on.
That's okay.
Let's
All right.
move on. All right, the
Get
Red
rid of
Sox
him.
are pursuing a power bat such as JD Martinez,
Schwarber.
No.
Carlos Santana, or Eric Hosmer. I think
Schwarber.
Schwarber is also
He's
a
in
very
the
good
mix,
option.
yeah. But
Who should
they
Boston
were
try to
saying-
snag?
Hosmer or Santana.
Hosmer or Santana.
They have a glaring error at
They
first
need
base.
a first baseman. They don't need outfielders.
Why not JD Martinez at first base? Why not give him a try? Why not?
Well, at
I
first
mean,
base?
you tried it with
Why not?
Hanley.
Okay, you can't compare Hanley Ramirez to JD Martinez.
I don't think I've ever
You
seen
could actually
JD Martinez
say
take a ground
Ramirez had a
ball.
better shot because he was a shortstop, so you think he'd have
Okay.
a good glove.
He was okay at shortstop. Everyone made him out better than what he was because of his bat.
That was a really good Marlins team. Miggy Cabrera was on that team at one point, and Hanley and
And now Derek Jeter's the owner and completely tearing down that franchise.
It's because they changed the
Yeah.
name.
Marlins
to Miami.
fans are not happy.
you have
Nah.
to take it apart because R.I.P. Jose, you don't have the pieces right now to
But
compete.
why? You have Yelich, Ozuna, D. Gordon, Stanton, the MVP,
And
and
they're
you
not
tear it
shipping
down.
those
They have
guys
no
off.
arms.
They have nothing.
Yeah.
Then start
Eric
making
could
some
go
minor
pitch.
league deals.
Huh?
Eric could go pitch for him.
Oh, yeah. I wish.
All their other pitchers have been giving up taters. I mean, it'd be
You're
another
right.
day at the
You
park.
would be doing the same thing that they would be doing, except for
tater.
Volquez.
Yeah,
That's
Volquez.
about it.
So I don't know, but
Okay.
anyway, yeah, I think Santana or Hosmer. I really want to see.
Schwarber's an interesting guy too because
Yeah.
I think that he had a very good September last year and really showed a lot. After up and down,
Playoff
up and down
guy,
in the
so-
He
system.
could play
Very-
first base.
Oh, absolutely. I have no doubt.
I think he could
and he
play
could
first
DH.
base. He caught.
Therefore,
at
you
one
can
time at
trade.
Indiana.
You can trade Hanley Ramirez. I know his contract is a little
I don't know if they do
challenging.
that.
Little challenging, but Schwarber is an interesting guy who I think could be explored. That's a possible option, but
I heard the Cubs aren't really willing to give him up yet, so we'll see.
he's a
But
very
for the
good.
right
Joe
hitter.
Buck
price.
is so happy that he's
Joe
not leaving
Buck,
Chicago.
yeah.
Kyle Schwarber.
God, I hate Joe Buck. That's okay though. JD Martinez, they already have unless they,
Yeah, but they're going to
unless
try
they
to deal
trade-
JBJ,
Yeah, if they trade him,
which is a
move
great
Mookie-
segue.
Move Mookie Betts to center.
Mookie Betts.
Mookie, whatever.
Mookie. Like,
I had to say it.
What kind of name is
Mookie
that?
Betts.
Whatever. All right.
who names their kid Mookie?
That might
Who
be a
names their
nickname, I
kid
don't know.
Ha Ha Clinton Dix?
That's not his real name. That's not
It's
his real
not?
name. No, it's a nickname. His grandma gave it to him.
Well, that's a terrible nickname.
Oh,
So
thanks.
Said he laughed
All
a
right.
lot as a kid.
But
It's
anyways,
cool, though.
lastly,
It's cool. Whatever. So,
JBJ
yeah.
and even Manny Machado are two of the big names who are said to be on the trade block. Do you think either of them are gonna get moved this offseason?
JBJ possibly. I think nobody wants to take on Machado because it sounds like he's going to bolt for the biggest money he can bolt for.
I think he's going to
The
a
Orioles
contender
never
if
really
he goes.
trade anybody.
I mean, Britain.
But they still haven't made
Dude,
a
we
move.
need to quit doing that. We keep
Yeah.
saying the same stuff at the
Wow.
same time.
Whoa, bro.
Cringe.
Cringe. All right, there it was again. Whatever. So, yeah, I see JBJ possibly moving.
Yeah.
So,
I don't see Machado moving. Nobody's going to put the pieces together. This is kind of like the Zach Britton thing, like where the Orioles go, okay, so he's on the trade block.
We're listening.
Crickets. Crickets. So
a
that's
team
it.
calls, we'll give you this, this, and this. Nope, no, we're looking for. We want $500 million and 3 All-Stars.
We want
And
Giancarlo Stanton.
we want a new stadium.
We want
Yeah.
Mike Stanton.
I don't know, man.
I like Mike
I think
better.
if
Giancarlo's
Machado,
a mouthful.
Better, yeah.
I think if Machado does get moved, he's going to have to go to a contender. I think for sure. I see maybe if the Giants are willing to give up prospects, that San Francisco would be a possible spot.
I doubt he'd stay
They're
there.
hunting moose.
I'm just
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
They want moose.
I'm just throwing stuff out there because there has been no talks of an actual trade yet. But I'm just speculating.
Yeah, we'll see.
Simply at
I
this
don't
point.
know.
Yeah,
Again.
but he's an interesting guy because 1 year left on his contract, and he's going to be very pricey after this year, to say the least.
He's not going to be Robinson Cano $400 million pricey though.
But he's going to be pricey.
He's going to
nonetheless.
ask for that.
Oh yeah.
Do you
Guarantee
think
he does.
now this is an honest question.
Machado
Now,
thinks
No, he
he's
doesn't. No, he doesn't
greatest
deserve
thing
it.
since sliced bread.
no, this is a serious question, and
Okay.
this is theoretical. Now
Okay.
that the Yankees have so much depth in the outfield, it seems like, at least in my head, Bryce Harper's not a possibility next offseason.
No,
I don't think so.
no.
But if they re-sign Todd Frazier to a 1-year deal, and at the end of next
you
year
don't
they
have
decide
the money to sign Manny Machado.
we?
There's no way.
Do we not?
No way.
do we?
No way.
No.
Does he go
He's
home?
gonna have to take a pay cut.
Does he go home to Miami?
Big time. Oh, that's
Does he?
That- dun, dun,
Possibly.
dun.
Maybe Miami's setting up for one of those guys. Maybe
That's
we
right.
just cracked
Maybe
the
we-
code.
maybe we've been waiting for
is
Jeter.
way smarter than we think he is.
I mean,
Jeter's
he's
like-
a pretty smart dude.
He is. I mean, I think he's going to do a good job, but
he's been in
We'll
a winning
see.
clubhouse.
Yeah.
He's been in
That's an
winning
interesting little
clubhouses.
take.
really, I
but-
think the main reason they
Time out.
wanted to trade Stanton is because of his salary, and he feels that he was
absolutely.
not worth that.
I mean, the ex-management for them really put them in a hole.
yeah.
Really put them in a hole.
But just to talk about something real quick, I want to reference last week we talked about Manny Machado, and I'm not going to get into it because we all kind of have varying opinions. But I just want to say, you guys made the comment he's not a winner. Now, would you classify Derek Jeter as a winner? So if
I wouldn't.
So if
Yeah.
Derek Jeter is classified as a winner, why would Derek Jeter be interested in a punk from Baltimore?
Because he could be a piece that puts them over
He
the
could
edge.
change the game for them.
I mean, Baltimore's not really a winning city if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I was trying to tell you.
Interesting
Possibly.
take. Cool.
Neither has Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't really been winning. But
So my
But that's like an act. I mean, I'm not saying Baltimore isn't a sport, or you know what I mean.
It's
Isn't
a
a sports
sports
city,
town.
but I mean, Miami's like big time.
But that's where
a lot
Manny's
of tourists.
from.
I mean, where would you rather go visit? Baltimore or
Miami.
Miami?
and
I
Manny's,
mean, it's simple. I mean, people go there. The brand new stadium, beautiful town.
6 people in the stands.
Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have more than Camden Yards.
Attendance at Miami is 28th in the league. Tampa is right behind them. It is that bad.
They
Miami season
they
tickets
can
for both.
hold more.
Well, this year, you know, Miami's just gonna be. They might actually tie with Tampa if Tampa doesn't move in the near future.
The thing
Montreal.
about Miami is, if they're not good, no one's gonna go because
They're not going anyways.
because there's so much more to do. That's the problem with some of these cities.
Yeah. Am I going
Like
to go sit on my
Cleveland-
boat, or am I going to watch Mike Stanton or excuse me,
Cleveland,
Giancarlo
even the Browns
strike out 4
game
times?
yesterday, it was pretty crowded and pretty loud there.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else to do in
That's
December in Northeast Ohio.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
True.
Okay, so
Ah.
you go there for 2 hours, and then you're like, oh.
And it's the same thing every
Yeah.
time you go. I mean,
Exactly.
it's awesome the first time you go.
It's great,
wow.
but
Never been.
so
What? Do you guys recommend?
yeah, I recommend.
really recommend.
It's
Highly
cool.
recommend.
It's a very cool.
So
place.
anyway, yeah, Miami, they need a winning team to draw a
yeah.
crowd.
All right, Eric, this is your time
Are you-
to shine.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
I have one too, and I'm gonna save it for last. Or do you want me to?
What's
no,
yours?
you're the showstopper here.
Well, mine's
I
about.
got it.
What is yours?
All right, Cleveland fans, I know a lot of you are watching or listening for that matter too on SoundCloud, YouTube. Check it out. Anyways, Kaiser, overtime.
Oh God.
What the hell are you doing?
This dude.
What are you doing? He
He-
just threw it up. He threw it. He lost them the game. There's no doubt. That defense played so well the entire day against a pretty versatile Packers offense. I mean, I know Rodgers is hurt, but Hundley has stepped in and done a good job. But Kaiser, throw the ball out of bounds. What are you doing? You at least,
Yeah.
it was a third down. You punt the ball.
You know what? He played great in the first half too.
He looks
really-
like the next quarterback for the Browns.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then the second half, he came out and he pooped his pants.
He needs
That's
polished.
okay.
He needs polished.
I still ask,
Good quarterback needs polished.
what
can
the hell
polish
are
a
you
turd, but
doing?
still.
One, what the hell is wrong with you for throwing that ball that looked like me playing Madden? And two, are you kidding me, Eric?
That-
I'm sorry, I had to
that-
vent a
No,
little
that's
bit.
fine. Mine's not really. It is sports related. It's about my boy Stephen Wright. Okay.
Oh my!
One thing that's really like astonishing.
Wait, tell the people who don't know because I just found out today.
Okay, so I saw this last night, and I was actually, you brought it up to me. I was thinking about using it. So Stephen Wright, a knuckleball pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, not as good as Wakefield, but he's a solid pitcher.
I think he was an All-Star one year,
He
or he was
16,
close or something like that. I don't know.
2016.
better than
Yeah.
Dickey.
No,
No, not
no.
better.
All right, Dickey
All
was
right,
a premier
anyway,
arm.
so
Anyway, yeah.
domestic violence thing happened, and I just want to know what is with these dudes and all these. Every day there's a new domestic case, sexual assault. Like, and you're a knuckleballer. What do you can't go around beating your wife if you're a knuckleballer. Even like Chapman, all these dudes. Come on, are you kidding me?
Respect women.
Get your crap together. It's not cool.
If you're
And
with
if she really makes you that mad, just leave. Like, you don't have to throw the right hook.
I mean, all you
All
got to
right.
do is just go hit a heavy bag.
That's it. You know what?
Invest.
This is
invest.
terrible to say.
Professional
terrible to
athletes
say.
invest in a heavy bag or something. Don't go. It's not cool.
No. So this is terrible to say, but if you're that mad, now if there's any women listeners, don't get angry, but just put her face on the punching bag. If that makes you feel better, I don't know. But
least
don't
you're not hitting
hit
her.
her.
My
Yes.
gosh.
Yeah, you don't hit a
Come
woman.
on.
No, never.
Stop it.
We here
Stop
at
it.
Diamond Talk and at Mount Union do not condone hitting women.
Do
Come
not
on.
condone
And
That is
if you
this
horrible.
think
at
it's
all.
going to shut them
Horrible.
up, we haven't found a thing that will shut them up. So
Okay, now that might be a little offensive, so
All
I
right.
apologize right there because
Are
Mama's
you kidding
listening.
me, Coop?
Are you? There we go.
All right, so there
Coop's
we go.
gonna. Are you kidding me? Himself.
are you
Anyway,
kidding
that's
me?
all I gotta say. Stop beating women.
Yeah, don't beat women.
Yeah.
It
That's not
really,
cool.
honestly, like it's not that hard to.
It
not do
blows
that.
my mind.
It's ridiculous, man. Why?
If you're arguing with, even with you're arguing with dudes, we don't just square up
I mean, sometimes.
I don't know. There's been some
but-
times where I wanted to take some swings.
Okay,
Did
but
you?
you didn't. I
You
mean,
were
a
like,
couple
I
times.
don't like you. We'll see your phone. So anyway, I just broke the phone. Bad example, but yeah, just.
I
don't
mean,
swing.
really. I mean, we don't even do that much, and especially
No.
these guys are professional athletes. They're supposed to be mature. They're not mature.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Did you just say mature? You're okay.
Professional athletes who
Professional
have never
athletes
had
are-
a real job in
Yeah,
their life. I mean, a
professional
couple of them
athletes-
have.
Professional athletes, maybe Evan Gaddis is mature because he had to work in insurance for a little bit.
That's a bad
and was
dude.
a janitor.
You gonna fight him, Coop?
No, I will not fight Evan
Eric?
Gaddis.
No way.
But-
That's a scary man.
But seriously, like these professional athletes, 18 years old, leave mama's house, and they're giving them some millions of dollars, and they're living on their
it's
own.
not all of them.
No, it really is.
There's really a lot of good
a
athletes
couple
out
of
there.
them ruin it
But
for the
a
majority.
few of them,
That's it. A
there's-
couple of them
yeah.
ruin it for the majority.
That's agreed.
it's bad.
Yeah, but
Same
that-
with these politicians and just people out there. Like, stop it.
That's a good one. That I appreciate that because it's timeless because this has been going on for years and
It has been.
Now
it's
it's
just
If you
come
have
off
to
surface.
do that to get a girl, then you're a piece of crap. Honestly,
that's it.
Just yeah.
We had a very deep. Are you kidding me with Eric
We
Ostrowski
did
today?
because there's not really. I'm looking for bloopers. There's nothing. The only other one was Kevin Durant tried to fight Boogie Cousins, but that
was hilarious.
was hilarious. So.
KD, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Are you kidding me?
You're 7 foot, 150 pounds. You can't be
Has
doing
that
that.
kid ever seen a weight room in his life?
Well, he benched like 150 in college, so.
Did he
And
really?
he's 7 feet tall. Yeah.
Yeah, but his arms are like 7'8", like wingspan
Yeah.
is like 7'8". But anyways, boys, any closing comments? Anything? Give me. You know what? Actually, give me a prediction. What do you think is going to happen over break? Because I know we surprised everyone with the surprise.
We're
episode.
back, baby.
Yeah,
Or at least for this episode, in case you missed it.
All right.
yeah. I'm saying JD Martinez is going to re-sign. Hopefully.
Coop. Got anything, Coop?
I want you to go first.
You want me to go
I'm gonna
first?
stomp you first.
Here's a bold prediction. Schwarber to the Giants. Bold.
Coop,
I'm stunned with what was just said.
just
It's a
you stunned
prediction.
you
Yeah.
stunned us with everything last week. So
Yeah.
just go ahead.
Jake Arrieta is going to be in pinstripes.
All right, well,
The
that's
hopes
all
alive.
we
Oh, man.
have
All right.
for you this episode. You can follow us on Twitter at Diamond Talk 20. Don't follow Coop.
Unless you want to see a senior football picture.
It's 8th grade.
Yeah, right.
You should have talked about that. Are you kidding me?
We'll
Yeah.
get some really good. Are you kidding me from break?
22s usually look athletic, and you just didn't.
Wow.
Ouch.
I've had
All right,
enough.
hey.
I quit.
Follow us on Twitter. Stay locked in for the Willie and Friggy show, college football. I was featured on an episode. It's going to get posted here soon. Pretty excited about that. Yeah, I mean, have a very, very blessed holiday season to everyone, and we'll see you in January.